A spark ignites and starts to burn. Through endless realms, no way to return. From crimson skies to wastelands torn. Myth and legend where stars are born. A million paths collide in the haze. Echoes of heroes lost in the maze. Planes walking the multiverse. Through chaos and time we immerse. Legends rise and fade like sparks. Across the void we leave our marks.
They added like 3 times the amount of weaponry available in this vault. So they set it up so the tensions would be very high. And then at the same time, there was a parallel cloning project that was going on, focused on, obviously, can you guess the name of the guy it was focused on?
Gary!
Yeah, you got it, buddy. You got it. So each of the Garys was grown in a lab, and there was some kind of defect in them that made Garys immediately hostile to anybody who wasn't a clone. And
Right.
they just kept making them. So they made like 50 some odd Garys to the point where their observation rooms were overcrowded with them. So what happened was, as they go along, they dealt with escalating violence. So somewhere up in the mid 50s, one of the Garys actually injured one of the doctors. So they started talking about destroying the extra clones to make room for further tests, and they basically just obviously treated the Garys as completely disposable. So you've got like, yeah, I know, it's honestly, it's insane. Like, I would say that it's kind of impossible to think about the fact that there would be scientists willing to do this, but there are people who are missing fundamental parts of their humanity.
Whispers crawl through the cracks like spiders in the dark. Secrets slither, shadows dance, they leave a bitter mark. Lies wrapped tight like silk spun thin, choke in the morning air. The truth you chase, it runs away. Hiding where you dare, in the heat of the night, where the fire burns cold. The answers you seek are stories untold, shaped by the light.
Listen. After everybody calms the fuck down.
Is anybody alive coming out of the movie theater? Or just dead people?
Just blood and body parts.
All right, well, I'm going to try to go in again. And if I go back in time, I'm going to shoot the lock a few more times and see if it works.
All right, yeah, throw me a D20.
I've got a 3.
So you go in, and this time the force is more pronounced. It's more pronounced. It flings you back around a minute later. So you can feel the whiplash. It hits your neck, it hits your back. It's like you're almost trying to go through plexiglass. And the people going in, you're in the situation, you're just coming around the front, and people are going in, the door is closing. A minute later, the whole thing happens all over again.
Can I try to run in and get in there before the door closes and just force my way through? Or am I too late?
Yeah, it's too late. So it flings you back the moment that you're coming back around.
All right,
Boom, boom, let the hollow idols fall.
members deserve much better than we know about Tilly Norwood, and we're heavily monitoring the situation. Like, you guys are unfucking believable. You know that. You're supposed to fight on behalf of us. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be representing everybody here. I realize you can't have a crystal ball and you can't think 20 steps ahead. But you're supposed to have that clairvoyancy. You're supposed to think somewhat ahead. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. You're supposed to foresee of problems in the future and try to stop them. That's why you have a collective bargaining agreement. That's why you went back and forth with the studios. That's why it was one of the longest acting strikes in history.
This is the LP shop, doors are open wide, so come on inside. Find a little piece of history and come alive, turn it up, let your story spin. Every scratch, every song pulls you back in. At the LP shop, doors are open wide.
As a kid, learning to play guitar, I used to put the album on, not this album. There's a Fraley's Comet. It's called Live Plus One, and he opens with this song. And I used to learn. I would try and figure it out and play along to the album. I loved this song. And my buddy, who was a drummer, who I still keep in contact with, he learned all the drum parts on this song as well, with that drum solo in the middle.
So I'm guessing you're like a big fan of the song.
Yeah.
Tell just let's go into it. What did you like about the song?
Well, I mean, of course, first off, it's guitar driven.
Yeah.
Vocally, Ace doesn't push any barriers.
No.
But he's got a certain execution and a way he enunciates and the way he sings that I've always been attracted to. He's not the greatest singer in the world.
No.
I don't think he ever claimed to be. But there's just something cool.
The Caveman and his crew, paint on my face just to move. We are Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life, mark it on my skin, that sign from the campfire glow at night to the screen right in your eyes. Original stories, wild and true, you can feel them cut right through, bring that spark straight to you. Every drop, every view, must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Raise your hand. That's the sign. That's the sign. Shouting names side by side. When the Caveman calls, we rise. Hear that thunder in our cry. From the first beat, we commit. Once you're in, that's it. I'm the banner we lift. Whole world watching this. Must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. You're your club for life. Hey. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You're your club for life. Hey. Once you're in, I'll get them for life. Call it out. Hey. I'll go, never doubt. I'll go, side by side. Hey. Music club for life. For life. For life. Hey. Must see TV. Join the tribe. Cross the line. Music club for life. Hey. Say the word. You're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. Music club for life. Hey. Once you're in, you're in for life. Paint on your face, shine on your smile, script in your hand, same old style. You spin your tales in a neon cave, selling cheap gold from a plastic grave. But the ground still shakes when the truth hits hard, and the old voice rises from the bones and the dark. You dress your fear in glitter and jokes, hide your hate in a velvet cloak, but stone sees through the smoke. Yeah, stone sees through the smoke. Caveman roars back, tear the mask, crack the act, strip the gloss from the lie, hear the old world cry. Caveman roars back from the fire, from the black. Every false king shakes when the real one wakes. Caveman roars back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the penultimate episode to Caveman Roars Back. We have Mossy in the studio. Say hello, Mossy.
Hello, Mossy.
So let's just get right to it. CinemaCon ended. Like what, Mossy? Like a couple of days ago?
Something like that.
And Steven Spielberg made an appearance promoting his new movie. But before he did that, and he threw it to the trailer, I think it was the trailer, right?
Yeah, I think it was. All of this was kind of in promotion of his movie Disclosure Day.
Yeah.
Which admittedly does look quite interesting.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we don't have. We should preface this. We only have the quotes.
I'm having a hard time finding the full speech.
Yeah, we don't have the full speech.
Yeah,
so in quotations, we're going to be reacting to this because we don't have the full context to what he said, right? But I have roughly heard this type of stuff from him before. We just need to throw that out there in context. Let's go on to his quotes.
Yeah, the main point he seemed to make is
Do we have his full quotes?
I can see if I can find a specific one. I was just going to get into.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Let's see. I'm finding a lot about. He spoke quite a lot about his movie. And his interest of like. I guess it has something to do with like aliens or whatever.
Yeah,
like that.
Disclosure Day. Yeah, which looks pretty interesting.
It does. It really does.
I'm gonna go see it.
I do like how the trailer is keeping some mystery.
Yes,
which is a big problem I have with a lot of trailers. They just show everything.
Yeah,
like I saw The Martian recently. Fantastic movie. The trailer shows too much.
Yeah, The Martian is really it's great.
Sorry, not The Martian. I meant.
Project,
you mean Project Hail Mary?
Yeah, Project Hail Mary.
Different movie.
Yeah.
The Martian. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the trailer.
Oh, I enjoyed The Martian as well.
Fantastic movie. Great soundtrack. Too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm getting off track.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, why am I not finding the quote that I found earlier? What the heck? Basically, he was saying a lot about.
We need to pull his exact quotes.
Yeah.
So.
He warns that Hollywood must invest in original stories rather than pre-established known IPs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna run out of gas, basically.
All right.
People are gonna get bored of it.
Let's discuss this in the whole. Okay. Now again, I don't have his whole speech in front of me. I'm just reacting to those quotes. This is a giant myth that I would expect somebody like the Critical Drinker to say, but not a director of his stature. Let's just take a sample size, Mossy, okay? And we're gonna start with comic book movies, okay? There's this misnomer that there's too many comic book movies, right? There's too many superhero movies. So let's do some math. In 2000, let's just take a sample size. This is just a rough estimate that I have here. In 2022 to up to now, how many superhero movies do you think was released in that time? Roughly. Roughly.
I honestly have no idea.
20.
Yeah.
20. How many original movies was released in this time from 2022 from now? I'm sure and we're counting. If you want to go deeper, we can exclude the world. But globally,
yeah.
How many movies was that wasn't a comic book movie?
I'm sure it's considerably more.
45,000. 45,000. It just doesn't hold up. That argument of there's too many comic book movies being released, it does not hold any weight, and it doesn't hold any water to the truth. If you dive any deeper than what someone like the Critical Drinker or somebody else says, some other dum-dum says, it just doesn't hold up. 20 is less than 45,000. What? That's one comic book movie for every 1,500 original movies, something like that. It just that argument doesn't hold any weight. So now let's go to his quotes about original movies. That quote is so vague. Because what do you quantify original, Mossy? How do you quantify that?
I'm trying to find a more specific. I'm trying to find if he gets more into specifics there.
But you know what I mean? What do you quantify as different and new? Because that clay, that mold, that clump you're holding melts really, really fast. I got news for everyone. There's new stories. Okay, the different stories. Everything has been told already. Everything has been told already. Star Wars wasn't a different story. It was based on a Arthur story, a King Arthur story. As storytellers, we have the job to tell these stories in different ways. Okay? No one is going to invent the wheel, because the wheel is already there. Betrayal, heartbreak, revenge, the hero getting the girl, the hero triumphing over the villain. These stories have all been told before. They've all been told before. Project Hail Mary has been told before. E.T. has been told before. Back to the Future has been told before. So what are we talking about, Mossy, here? What do you quantify as different and new? It's easy to sit there and say.
He says like pre-existing IPs, like a series that already exists.
All right, well, let's do the math again. 2022 to now, how many existing IPs have been released? We're adding video games, all this superheroes into the fray, the sequels, franchises, all that kind of stuff.
It's gonna take me a while to find the numbers on that.
130. 130. 130. You want to take a guess if we take those movies out of the equation, how many different movies we got, quote unquote, in this time, not tied to an IP or franchise? Take a guess.
Probably more.
45,000. 45,000. It just doesn't hold up. It just does not hold up. What he says just does not hold up to any scrutiny. Different movies, quote unquote, are coming out every day. The Barbarian, Norseman, The Lighthouse, The Witch, Wall-E, Up. I can go on and on and on and on and on until I hit a franchise or a movie that's tied to IP or a superhero comic book film. Mossy, I could go on and on.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hold up. What would have made more sense for him to say Hollywood needs to put more emphasis on promoting and spending more on promoting these different movies that are coming out. That would have made more sense in that context. It would have made more sense in that context.
Yeah.
Because I actually agree. More of these movies that come out need to have a bigger budget. They need to have a bigger budget to spend on trailers and commercials. They need to. That actually makes more sense. But saying that Hollywood needs to put more time and effort into making different movies that are not tied to a franchise, that's just ludicrous. That's so vague, Mossy. That's so vague.
Yeah.
Love, betrayal, revenge. The guy getting the girl. The guy transcending his limits. The guy saving the world. The girl saving the world. The girl walking through battlegrounds to reach her true love. These stories have all been told before. These stories have all been told before. They have. Like I said, Back to the Future, as much as I love that movie, has been told before. E.T., as much as I love that movie, and everybody does, has been told before. That premise has been told before. Jurassic Park, that premise has been told before. The originality that he's saying there does not exist in that context. Because what do you quantify as original, Mossy? What do you quantify as original in that context? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Everything has been told before. All the stories that you've seen has been told time and time again. But the trick is, for storytellers, for us, it's up to us to tell them in unique ways, a different angle. We're not going to invent the wheel because the wheel is already there. It's already spinning. But we can change the speed. We can slow it down to make you think a little bit more. And these quotes, now, be clear, just commenting on the quotes. I don't have the full speech in front of me. These quotes make no sense whatsoever. And he should know better, way better. Because he's in the top of the food chain. And he's directed. He has directed existing IP movies before. I didn't hear him say anything about that. The BFG. The BFG. He has directed some movies that have existing IPs and properties attached to them. For him to say that, it's like calling the kettle black. Because it is black. When you say vague things like that, you can't just say vague things with absolutely no context like that. Because this is a bigger discussion, a much bigger discussion. What do you quantify different? What do you quantify as different? What do you quantify as unique? What do you quantify A? What do you quantify B? What do you quantify C as? Original is a myth. It's a myth that some of these directors should stop feeding the fans. Because when they do that, they give Critical Drinker, Midnight's Edge, all these bullshit people that have fake and false narrative, fake and false, and operating on bad faith, all the ammunition, Mossy. All the ammunition. Because they could go, see, Steven Spielberg, he said it. He said it. Are they going to take the time, Mossy, to dive into these quotes like us? No. To explain, to give proper context to these quotes? No. Absolutely not. No. They're not going to do that. And I wish, Mossy, I wish a little bit that I wish a whole hell of a lot that these directors stop feeding this myth that does not exist and never did exist to begin with. I didn't see anything. I didn't George Lucas saying any. I didn't see George Lucas saying that when he was making Star Wars. After Star Wars. Because I have news flash for everyone. That's not a different story. That's not a unique story. It's told a different way, but that's the trick for us as storytellers to do. But it has been told over and over and over again. It is the bedrock for that type of story. It is the bedrock. So I wish that Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and all these cats stop perpetuating this myth and give more context into what they're saying. Not blatant falsities that they just say, oh, it sounds good. And they think, everybody thinks that they're some genius. Because I got news for you. It just makes it harder and harder and harder for not only studios, but people like me. Because we have to spend time saying, man, Steven, what are you doing? You're direct. You know way better than this to give a speech to give quotes like that without context. Because look what we're doing, Mossy. Look what we're doing. Right? We're taking quotes, popular quotes that were ripped from every news article out there. The reason why you can't find a speech right now is because they just concentrated on those quotes. And it's frustrating. It is frustrating. So that's your episode for today. I think we did good, Mossy. I think we did good.
Yeah.
So we will be back tonight, correct? For a brand new episode of the LP Shop.
Yeah,
For those of you that are wondering about the music situation, it seems that we hear it, but you can't hear it. Maybe because it's on a delay and it works itself out through the stream. But Mossy is working on it, and as soon as he can find out what the hell's going on, he'll let me know. Yeah. I'm guessing it's just we have to get a new converter. That's what I'm guessing. So until tonight, guys, take care, be safe, be well, and a club for life. Peace.
Just check.